Well, after 8 months of no hand drill, got one going. Paid the price right up there next to my scar. Hand's doing better though. Just have to work them back in. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Chris from 4 Directions Bushcraft. Well, it's been a long time since I did a hand drill or anything primitive, so I did a hand drill today. We were successful with it. It's been about 8 months since I was able to do that, and I got a big blister from it right on my scar, but I got to toughen up the hands and just keep at it, you know, and that's the secret of that. But it kind of inspired me to do a primitive bag dump today. Now, I was going to do this on Facebook, but and live on Facebook, but I haven't made a YouTube video lately, and I figured I'd just do it on YouTube. That way you guys can enjoy it there. Although I don't have any obsidian in my primitive pack right now, I left it at home. I meant to put it in here, but I didn't. There's supposed to be obsidian in here. And I'm just gonna go through. This isn't even organized. I just dumped it out. So primitive bag dump, just like the title says. And it's not in any particular order, and I'm not really gonna go through what I use each item for. I'm just gonna kind of go through it. So anyway, starting with the bag. This is all handmade leather bag sewn with sinew. My good friend Mike Parker over at Mike Parker Bows gifted me this. And this thing goes everywhere with me. It stays in my truck, and everything. This isn't even all my primitive stuff, but everything goes in this bag. I mean, it's just fantastic gift. I'll never forget it. It's probably my favorite piece of my entire kit, obviously. But moving on, I have a Osage orange dyed leather handcrafted pouch, again with sinew. This was also gifted me. Most of these items were gifted to me by Mike Parker. So look his channel up. He's on Facebook. Subscribe and like and share and all that. He's a real good guy. Real good primitive skills. Gosh, I don't know. Should I say? I don't like the word expert, but awesome at primitive skills. Knows a lot. I've learned a lot from him. Most of these items came from him. Bones. Most of these are deer bones. Here's a deer jaw, some ribs. I mean, bone in a survival situation, many options, many tools you can make out of these. So it's hard for me to pass up bones when I find them. So I take a lot of them, and before the critters get them. Now, some of these have teeth marks from the critters, but I take a lot of them, throw them in my primitive kit. I can make awls, knives, anything out of bones. Moving on, I have some inner bark of the basswood tree. I have some fake sinew, and although, you know, most of this is primitive, I do like adding some modern day tools to my kit. Just because, I mean, you know, it's useful, and that's what I do. You know, it's my primitive kit. I add some stuff to it that I normally use. So fake sinew goes in there. I do have real sinew. So what I wanted to show you here is I have one of the front legs, and it's not very, you know, big. It's only the bottom portion of the leg. And here I have another one here. But what I wanted to show you is you can get a lot of sinew from here. You see, this is the front of it. And here's a big long strip of connective tissue or tendon. Those are just from the 2 hind legs and the 2 front legs. And I haven't even gotten it all yet, so here's still one in here. So this is the one we're looking at. And we'll get it too, so don't let your guys' sinew go to waste. Okay, so this is sinew, deer sinew or tendon, and I've dried it out with salt. So this is the white salt that's left on it, and it's so hard you have to process it up. So what we're using is just a pummel that I've tied some natural cordage willow bark around, and we'll process. All right, so this is how we process it up, and the good thing about natural sinew is it sticks to itself. So once you rehydrate this, wrap it around your arrow or wrap it around your tool or whatever you're trying to haft or anything like that, it's like a glue. It'll stick to itself, and you can see the fibers in there. It's really nice. Got some white-tailed deer droppings. This is for my pitch that I make. Here's a pitch stick. Here's some points, some bird points and arrow points that I can use for hafting. This green one I think is made out of a bottle. Some fat wood chert. I always carry some seeds with me, and these are actually goosefoot. Very, very high in vitamins, more so than spinach. So I always keep those with me in case I want to plant some in my favorite spots in the woods. I recently just made these primitive containers out of bamboo and cork, and in this I have crushed mint, but you can carry mint, you can carry coffee, kind of packed in there. Mint, coffee, that's mint that I've grown in my garden at home. Salt, pepper is what I got in this one, salt and pepper, and I also have some juniper berry. Juniper berry is great on meats. You only need about one juniper berry. Crush it up, put it on your meat, cook it over the fire. It's fantastic. I've done that a lot, and so I decided to throw some of those in there. These are turkey bones. I'm gonna make a turkey caul out of those, and I threw in a coconut shell. Once you plug up this hole, you can make, I think I'm gonna make a candle out of that, to be honest. Let's see, what else do I got? This is obviously a char cloth tin with my flint and steel. Flint and steel is still primitive fire. I mean, when I talk about not being primitive, I mean using a Bic lighter, everything else is primitive. I mean, the Romans used to use flint and steel. I mean, it's been around forever, so I add that obviously to my kit and call it primitive. I have some honey locust thorns that I've put a hole through each one of these so I can use them as a needle. I can use them as fishing hooks or make them into fishing hooks, and I just have them plugged into a piece of cork so they don't stick. Honey locust thorns are fantastic as far as a survival item. So I love having those around. Here's my primitive friction fire kits, of course. This is the kit I just used, my hand drill kit, and my flint knapping tools, deer tines, and some a deer antler. Here's a deer rawhide, actually, that I scraped. With using my file, it's dull enough it won't puncture the hide. I just get it started, and I've been able to rub the meat down. scraped, and I've yet turned into buckskin, but you know, I might turn it into buckskin. The reason I have it is for a different method of cordage. You know, I can rehydrate this, wrap it around anything that I want. Once it dries out, it hardens, and so that's good for that. I have some willow bark. Willow bark obviously is good for cordage, so I threw that in here. I have a stone ground axe that I stone ground myself, multifunctional tool, and this one actually doesn't weigh too much. My other one weighs a lot, so I just threw this one in there. You know, I can use it as a hammer, I can use it to cut, to crush. Here I have some pigmented stone. I couldn't tell you what stone this is actually, but I keep it in this tin here, and I can color with it, color arrow shafts with it or anything like that. But actually, that is not all the primitive stuff that I have, but it's a primitive dump day. It felt, you know, I was inspired by my hand drill today, so I just dumped out my kit that I had in my truck. I have to add a lot to this that I haven't added but anyway, cut this video short. I thank you guys for stopping by, and go out there, practice your primitive skills. You never know when you're going to need them, and they're always, you know, they're passed down from our ancestors, so learn them, enjoy them, and you guys have fun out there. As always, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting and sharing and liking. We can't thank you guys enough out there. We love you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.